Hey everyone, this video just wanted to show the current state of my Fluval Fresh 22 gallon. This was originally just a wild tank full of limnophila and a bunch of other stuff and multiple plants, and it was a lot and it was beautiful, but it wasn't quite the vision I initially had for this tank. So we can go ahead and talk about what the original vision was. This area right here, well, my hand's quite big in the way, but the right corner over here, and you can see here, was originally planted with a bunch of Cryptolensi, and it never took off, I think, and it never got tall. And so here we have some right here, and the other side has Crypt retrospiralis, but I couldn't find what I was looking for exactly, so I replaced it with the Eponigeton, and it didn't do quite what I wanted it to. I mean, it grew beautifully, so it did what it was supposed to do, did what I wanted it to in that sense, but we never got kind of a look where this was the original vision, where the Balenci was up forest, a little path here, and then another, big beautiful plant right here. So what I've done is I've got a few more Crypt Balenci. They were grown immersed, so they're starting to grow up again. And Crypt retrospiralis, which have already converted very nicely and are starting to get big and show off some color. The reason I don't think the Crypt Balenci did well initially in the tank was because I also put a bunch of guppy grass in here. And so it got out competed because I shoved it in between to try and really fill it up, but we can do that after, add a little filler plant after the Crypt Balenci and the Crypt retrospiralis fill in, particularly the Balenci. I think this Crypt retrospiralis will fill in a lot nicer. And also, the foreground plants, we have Liliopsis brasiliensis and that dwarf clover. I kept a few pieces of each so I can throw in another tank. Right now it's just over in, can't get to it now, my room's a mess. Just kind of cleaning up stuff, but we're using the dwarf chainsword that initially was a transition to the mid-ground plant. As you can see, this one is quite a bit bigger than the other ones, and I was able to pull off a bunch of them from here, so they're going to carpet quickly. They're just kind of melting back now, adjusting to the tank. I did this rescape about a week ago. Over here we got our crypts, our pink flamingo crypt, which is growing quite nicely now. It's not as pink and it's not as vibrant as we're waiting for, but hopefully it'll get there. And then these stem plants are going into a different tank that I actually just scaped a minute ago, which is one reason why my room's a mess, just figuring out hardscape and whatnot for that other tank. But it's scaped now, very messy due to the soil. But so these are out of the way, but behind it, doing just fine is some crypts. If anything, they'll do a tad bit better not blasting light on them. It's funny how that works. But I took out a lot of soil and significantly lowered the depth in the back of the soil and just planted them. These are out of the pots, the retrospiralis, and then I put these in pots, the Balenci, and shoved a root tab. And they're all Aquarium Co-op easy green root tabs, and so all along the substrate I did a thin layer, maybe about that thick, root tabs, more soil, and then root tabs in the pots, and then root tabs on top of that. And so everything generally is transitioning quite well. This Balenci could look a tad better, but I'm also pumping CO2 in from this F-zone regulator, this FSO CO2 regulator thing, and the that really helped, especially this retros rust, but that really helped the Balenciaga start to transition better. All the fish are doing fantastic. I was kind of nervous because it was basically just a 100% water change, and of course keeping the substrate helps, but it doesn't ensure everything will live, but everyone's doing fine. I'm gonna get rid of these Gertrude rainbows and the red neon rainbows wherever they at. The red neon rainbows I bred by accident in the little 8-gallon betta tank. They liked it in there, and so they bred. But I want to get lots, you know, maybe like 5 or 6, probably 6 more of these SB aerospores. They're just gorgeous, and it's going to be super exciting to see them schooling around in this vast jungle. If you notice, we have a little bit of a partition here, you know, there's, and the back at least, so I want the foreground to be all covered with this dwarf chainsword, and then a little partition right there. There's a Barcala longifolia bulb. I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but it's just a little bulb. Oh, we can see it from here, right there, and that's growing roots. So it was dormant, tossed it in here. It's growing roots finally, and hopefully it's going to look nice, big, slightly off center, so it won't be directly in the center, but that'll fill in this partition, and we'll have the Retrospiralis go into a forest and the Balenciaga grow into a forest. We'll have a Retrospiralis and just regular Spiralis right here. It'll look great. I'm guessing it'll take about 3, 4, maybe even 5 months, but I'm hoping for the 3-month. But patience is key. That's one thing, like growing plants and aquascaping will definitely cheat you whenever you're doing these a bit higher tech setups. I think with, even though these are easy plants, they're slow growing plants, and you can do a lot, but it just takes a while for things to grow in. That's why, you know, try to give it the best start. Run a lot of light. I fertilize with Flourish Advanced because it's got those hormones, those phytohormones that really help stimulate root growth. You definitely notice a difference, and it's also one that can kind of be used standalone from the other Seachem products. They kind of want you to use all of their products, and definitely that one is one that works great standing alone. Help the roots. There, that might look better. Help the roots to grow, get the plants established, and also, of course, fertilize with Aquarium Co-op Easy Green. That stuff is really great. To be honest with you, I've only done a few water changes on this, just 2 in the past week. I think it's been about a week, 2 weeks since I've set this up rather than a week, but just 2 within the past couple of weeks. I've just let it kind of go. Really, I should do more, I think, to help encourage new growth. I have been, I guess you could call them slight water changes, you know, just drain it to about here, just to suck up any crypt melt. But I've only done 2 about 50% water changes. First, this, you know, this 75 right here, which I did a trim on, and it's just, I do water changes on this thing all the time, and the plants just keep growing, the fish keep growing. Got a new little angel from a buddy of mine. He's little. He's not a Rio Nanai angel, but he looks like one, and he fits right in with the group of them over there. Stunning fish. Hello, buddy. Anyway, I hope they're all coming begging for food now. But I'm excited to show you guys the new tank whenever it's cleared up and we can start planting. I think I'll make a video of planting it to see the beginning for my own, you know, personal videos and or own personal memories, and to see the evolution of the tank in video form and learn from them. But this one, kind of doing the same thing. Starting it out, hopefully, you know, see where we can learn from it, from what it looks like now compared to hopefully 3-4 months from now. It'll fill in just like the vision, but it's kind of a longer video. I didn't mean to ramble on that long, but thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you'd like. Bye bye.